Hello, and welcome to Little Decisions Interview. I'm your host, Victoria Cooper, and today I have an interview with Eddy Smile Rodriquez. Edward Smile Rodriquez drives a big yellow van with his smiling picture on the side. He is America's Happiness Ambassador. I met Eddy online in a Facebook group where he was discussing his plans to start a podcast of his own about his 10 Million Smiles Happiness Tour, where, quote, "Your smile is your contribution to a better world," end quote. I took a chance and asked Eddy if he would interview with me. He graciously agreed. I didn't know much about Eddy's story when I initially asked him to interview for my podcast, so when his website informed me that he had the same type of cancer that took my dad almost 15 years ago, I knew it was serendipitous. Eddy says through his website, quote, "I saw fighting cancer as a negative, so decided to dance with it instead." Quote, "Spreading smiles, being positive, and living a life of joy are some of my things," Eddy continues online. Quote, "I have no idea where this adventure will take me, how it will be funded, or what is going to happen. I lost a child, my business, my home, got divorced, and almost lost my life. I know firsthand how much difference a smile, laughter, and a few words of encouragement made in my life, and that I will make in the lives of others." End quote. I caught up with Eddy while he was visiting the Adirondacks in the northeastern part of New York State. We started our conversation by discussing the power behind Eddy's story.
People always tell me your story's so fantastic and this and that, and I'm like, I'm just living my life. And it's so beautiful. If more people would do that, it would be fantastic, because what a lot of people do is they hold themselves back. I got work, I got this, I got that, I got the other. What about the times you're not working? Yeah. What about the times that you're not busy with other things? That's the time to go live. Go do as much as you can, because, we have a little bit of time on this earth, and why not take advantage of it?
Then, our conversation transitioned to talking about his 10 Million Smiles tour, a tour 5 years in the making. Our interview continued from there. Please enjoy the rest of my interview with America's Happiness Ambassador himself, Eddy Rodriquez.
People are like, "Eddy, what are you doing? 10 Million Smiles Happiness Tour? What's up with that?" I'm like, I want to go across the country. I want to live my bucket list. And while I'm doing that, I want to spread some smiles. I don't know how all this is going to come together, but does it really matter? My heart is going to be filled. My soul is going to be filled. The things that I want to accomplish in my life, I'm sure that they will happen for me. Because, when you step up and you start doing things like what you're doing, things like what I'm doing and what a lot of other people out there are doing, things come to you. You start getting surrounded with the beauty of life. And, life kind of says to you, hey, what is it you want? We're going to bring it to you, but you're not going to know when.
Your cancer. Can you explain what you mean by cancer, like having cancer as a dance?
It's kind of funny. And, people tell me it's not funny, but I think it is. When they first diagnosed me with cancer, they did a biopsy and stuff. And I'm driving down the street, and my doctor calls me. And my doctor says, "Eddy, we got some news on your biopsy." And I said, "Oh, great." And I'm thinking my doctor wants to set up an appointment to let me know what it is. And so she says, "Eddy, you have stage 4 colon cancer." Now, mind you, I'm driving down the road.
Yeah.
And so I said, "Okay, all right. Well, I guess we have to figure out what's next." She said, "Yeah, we'll make an appointment." And so I asked my doctor, I said, "Doc, most people, they bring you into the office and say you have stage 4 colon cancer or something like that. Okay. You just told me while I'm driving." She said, "Why?" I said, "Why?" And she said, "Well, Eddy, I knew you could handle it." So as we started getting into things and they asked me to do surgery and all that stuff, I started thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? Cancer is stronger than I am. And if I fight it, who's going to win? The cancer, because I'm full of negative energy and I'm thinking about negative things and fighting this cancer and doing everything I can to battle it. So I decided, that's not for me. But dancing with cancer is a different story. I'll start dancing with it. Because when you're dancing with it, you're bringing out positive energy. You're putting out things that the cancer doesn't know what to do with. Because the cancer feeds off of negativity.
Yeah.
But it doesn't know what to do with positivity. And it gets confused, and it weakens. And as it's weakening, I can destroy it. And I can destroy it with a dance. So just start thinking positive things, happy things, joyful things. And it's really not a battle. But you can get rid of your cancer. You can get rid of a lot of autoimmune diseases. I'm not saying you're going to, okay? But what I'm saying is you have a better chance because you're releasing endorphins that help to heal your body rather than releasing the poisons that destroy your body, because that's what negativity does. It releases the same poisons that your body releases when it dies.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I don't think that's a good thing. I'm sorry. You know?
No.
Yeah, so laugh and play. Why not?
Yeah.
I have cancer, colon cancer, stage 4. So what? I can laugh at it. I'm allowed.
Yeah. Well, and so my dad actually had the same cancer that you have, and he was diagnosed, and they gave him 6 months, and he said, forget that, I'm going to live my life, I'm going to do what I want, and I'm going to travel around this world. And he went almost 2 years before he finally succumbed to his disease.
Right.
But, I mean, you know, and he was like, when they found it, it was all over it was everywhere. Like, there wasn't a place that it wasn't. Yeah. And they did surgery, and then he just went and traveled the world and, like, lived his life, and he did it for 2 years, and I was so impressed. So I didn't know that part of your story when I first saw your post on Facebook. I just knew about the happiness tour. And so when I found out about the other stuff, too, I was like, oh, this is so serendipitous. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to hear about your father. I really am. And, you know, these are things that happen, but, you know, the way that I look at it is one way or another, I am going to die, whether it be with cancer or whether it be with whatever. You know, I might walk down the road, a truck runs over me. I don't know. But the thing is that I'm going to have fun while I'm doing it. And I got to honor your dad because he felt the same way. And he lived his life on his terms. And he made it 2 years. That's fantastic. Mm-hmm. That is fantastic. Yeah. So your dad was definitely an honorable man.
Yeah, he absolutely was. Well, and he was in the Air Force as well. He ended up doing a military or a medical retirement after 29 years in the Air Force. Yeah. Okay,
because of the cancer.
Yeah. So. Okay. Yeah, because you're a veteran as well, right?
Yes, I am. 82nd Airborne, U.S. Army.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
So. Jumped out of airplanes. I'm one of those crazy guys.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's awesome. That's great. With masks and having to wear masks in the pandemic, we can't see people smile. How has that impacted the work that you've been doing, you know, with the tour and everything? Well,
you know, it did pull it back. You know, I had certain things that happened. I've been trying to do this tour for about 5 years. And, you know, every time I turned around, something kept hitting and holding it back. That only means that I wasn't supposed to do it yet. That's all that means. But with the pandemic, as you know, people were wearing masks. Everybody was saying, hey, you know, we can't see the smile, so why smile? So that gave me an opportunity to tell people, look, we can still see your smile. We can still feel your smile, because your smile is not just the smile itself. You can see the corner of the eyes go up. Okay, we can see the energy levels that change. We can see how positive that you're feeling by the way that you carry yourself. So yes, it did impact the Smile Project and me going out on the road and doing it. But, you know, it was still something that I kept focused on and that I wanted to do. I just kind of put it on the back table for the moment. And so, you know, just because something gets in your way for the dreams that you have or a project that you want to do doesn't mean it's over. All it means is it's delayed. And you have the opportunity to do whatever it is that you want to do or you think you need to do during that time. Me, I got to be honest with you, I'm not a big planner. So I wasn't out there planning what I was going to do and things like this. I like to let things happen spontaneously. Because when you let them happen spontaneously, you never know what you're going to get. And it can be a lot bigger surprise than what you actually planned. And it's phenomenal because to me, I don't know, this is just me. I'm not talking for everybody. This for me, when I do plan this and something happens, it's absolutely amazing. And if something doesn't happen, I'm not disappointed because I don't know what was supposed to happen. I mean, if you don't put expectations on things, you don't get disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
The only expectation maybe you should have is I'm going to have fun with this. Whatever it is, whatever project you're doing, I'm going to have fun with this. And then just let it go and see what happens. And I think you'll be surprised a lot of times. And I mean, there's going to be times when things don't happen. They don't happen whether you plan them or not. But if you don't plan every single second, you have a lot more opportunity to have things inside of it that will grow bigger than you ever thought of.
Yeah. Oh, I love that outlook. That's so great.
It's one that I've carried with me all my life. You know, I've been one of those happy-go-lucky, let's see what happens, go do it, jump out of an airplane, whee! Yeah. I mean, it's that thing that they say, life is like a roller coaster, You can either scream all the way down or you can throw your arms up and go, whee!
I'm becoming a throw your hands up and scream wee person, but I'm getting there.
Yeah. Well, it's all a process, and I'm sure you're enjoying yourself, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And you still squirm a little bit in your seat. Oh, what's going to happen? But it's just, but everything's a learning. If we open ourselves up and just look at life for what it is, not for what we've been taught it is, we just open up and start going, wow, this is amazing. And we open up a little bit more, and a little more, and a little more. And pretty soon there's no box.
Do you consider yourself a kind person?
Yeah, I do. Thing is that, when you're a kind person, it's good for your heart. And just because, just because you're kind doesn't mean you're weak. And people do the same thing to me. They perceive me because of Smile and Wave projects. There's this weak guy, we can take advantage of him. He's just going to take what we feed him. Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? I have the other side too.
Yeah.
I mean, I can get stern and be tough and stand in my power just as I'm doing the smile.
Mm-hmm.
So, and yeah, because, it doesn't mean that you're a pushover. It doesn't mean that you're weak or small or that people can take advantage. All it means is that you're happy in your life, you're joyful in your life, and when you need to, you can stand in your power and say, hey, no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take anything away from anything.
Yeah. So do you think we could make social media kinder in some way?
I think that we can if we all pay attention. If we respect everybody else, you post something on social media and there's 9 times out of 10, there's going to be people out there that are going to post the exact opposite. And they're going to post it onto the post that you put there. Even if you put on their disclaimer, do not put anything negative here, okay? For some reason, some people feel bad about themselves, whatever reason that may be for them. And there's legitimate reasons out there that you can feel bad and feel negative and want to kind of destroy other people's happiness, okay, or kindness or anything that is. They want to find the negative and the positive, okay? But if we can try to engage those people and send love to them and just let them know that they're acknowledged, hey, thank you very much for sharing. We don't share the same views. Would you be open to looking at something else, another side? And maybe have a conversation with them and just say, hey, listen, we're all in this together. Why are we going to fight?
Yeah.
Let's stay together. Let's prosper together. And it's the same thing in business. There's businesses out there that just want to step all over people in order to get what they want. What they don't realize is they could probably be even bigger if they treat people with kindness, if they treat people with respect, if they give them customer service.
what's your biggest dream in life? Like your biggest dream of all? Like if there's one thing your life could do or be or whatever, what would it be?
It's actually really simple. I just want to live my life to the fullest to get the maximum that I can out of it, even though there are times when I really feel like crap, okay, that I feel down. I'm still going to try and squeeze what I can out of it. It may not always be. Now, one thing I want to clarify with people think because I am America's Happiness Ambassador, I'm never sad. I'm never, things don't get me down. That's not true.
Okay, so then I guess you think a podcast about kindness is a good idea then, right?
Oh, I think it's a fantastic idea. I love it. I think what you're doing is great. Yes. And you have the energy to do it. That's the beauty of it, too.
I do. I really do.
Yes, you do. And the thing is, some people may say that's bragging, but it's not. You're owning your power. You understand who you are, and that is so phenomenal. That is so phenomenal. See, and somebody like you who knows who they are, who knows what they have, who knows what they're doing to spread kindness, it is just absolutely phenomenal. That's at the top of the list. Just kindness, gratitude, forgiving, loving, understanding. These are very, very, very powerful things that we could all use more of in our lives. And the smile.
Yeah, I agree. And the smile comes with almost all of those.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, it's like I tell people, if you want to laugh, what do you have to do first? Smile.
Smile.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can't laugh without smiling. There's very little things. You can't be happy without smiling. And how many people, like people look at it too, what does it do for business? Well, guess what? When you make a good deal in business, what do? You smile, you laugh, you feel better, you feel more energetic. Everything starts there with a simple smile.
Last question then. So what can I help you promote, and how can someone reach out to you if they want to reach out to you? What's the best way for them to do so?
Well, they can go to my website, www.thesmileandwaveproject.com. Okay, and if anybody wants to follow me on this project, what they can do is they can text the word smile to 855-476-4845. Okay, so just text the word smile to 855-476-4845, and that way you'll automatically be put on our list, okay? And you can follow us. We do not spam. We only put out, we only put out things every once in a while. Okay, so there's not a whole lot of spam or anything like that. There's no spam at all, actually. And it's all about smiles, laughter, play, and things like that. So, it's just, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's great. This is beautiful. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today.
Thank you, Victoria. It's really, really an honor and a pleasure talking with you as well. And, it's just keep doing what you're doing because it's so amazing, so beautiful. It's a very happy, uplifting thing, and you're helping the world.